that 9 or was that J.J. McCarthy? Vikings fans can't be thrilled either way. And Shedeur Sanders gets his first start for the Browns in Vegas today and gets a 24-10 win. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Duo Collectibles YouTube channel. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my football content this season. What's up, everybody? Welcome into Two Burning Takes. I'm your host, Matt, and I hope you guys had a great NFL Sunday. We had a great Week 12 slate this week. If you're a Vikings fan, I'm guessing you probably didn't have a great NFL Sunday. They fall to 4-7 on the year. That's the third loss in a row. And it looked like either 9 or J.J. McCarthy, whatever he's calling himself these days, is regressing. It looks like the train is coming off the tracks. He was 12 of 19 today for 85 yards and 2 picks. They had -4 yards in the second half. It got really ugly there for the Vikings. And, I don't know really where they go from here. This is a team that won 14 games last year and let Sam Darnold walk out the door to go to Seattle. I know they made an offer to him, but ultimately he ends up in Seattle. Daniel Jones ends up in Indy. They're having a great season. And even Kirk Cousins gets a win today in Atlanta. I know they've moved on from him a long time ago, but it's not going well for J.J. McCarthy. He gives himself the alter ego 9. Well, I call him 11. He's got 11 picks in a short career in the NFL, and things are not going well at all. I'm just going to read off some stats here of some of the elite lists that J.J. McCarthy has joined. This is from Kevin Seifert of ESPN, a Vikings beat reporter. He says in the last 30 seasons, there's only been 2 Vikings quarterbacks to throw 2 interceptions in 3 consecutive games. One of them obviously being J.J. McCarthy this year. And cover your ears, Vikings fans. The other was Christian Ponder in 2012. So not exactly great company to join right there. He also joins Blake Bortles, Deshaun Kaiser, and Zach Mettenberger as the only quarterback to throw an interception in his first 6 starts in the NFL. And then one more. Since 2010, only 3 first-round quarterbacks have ever had a passer rating under 65 in their first 6 starts. You had J.J. McCarthy, obviously, Blaine Gabbert, and Zach Wilson. So, look, I know he's only 23. I know he missed his entire first season with the knee injury. I know he missed more time this year with the ankle injury. But this is a team that's built to win right now. You have a great offensive line. You just spent a bunch of money on the offensive line between Darisaw and Will Fries at right guard and the center, Ryan Kelly. And they have Brian O'Neill, and they just drafted Jackson in the first round as well. So it's an offensive line that's ready to go. You have Justin Jefferson in his prime. You have Jordan Addison entering his prime. You have a very good running back in Aaron Jones. You have a good tight end in TJ Hawkinson. And you have what's considered one of the best play calling coaches in the NFL with Kevin O'Connell and a great defense to boot. So I get it. He's young. I get it. There's still a bunch of time to go. They still have games this year. There's still 6 more games for him to play this year. But this was billed as this is the best situation for a rookie quarterback to enter. In 2024, when he was drafted, there was a lot of talk about Caleb and Drake and Jaden and everybody else, but everyone said, watch out for J.J. McCarthy because this situation he's going into is great for any quarterback. Look at what Kevin O'Connell got out of Kirk Cousins and obviously Sam Darnold last year. And not only is it not going well, it doesn't look like an NFL offense. So it's not like some of these other young quarterbacks where you say, all right, it's a bad team. Let's get them some weapons. Let's maybe get them a better coach or a better OC. This is the team. This is the team. This is the OC. So I think if things don't get better quickly, as in the next 6 games for the rest of the season, there's going to be a serious discussion about, is JJ McCarthy our guy going forward? How could you go into another season with the very little cap space? It's not like they can make a bunch of moves as far as adding a bunch of players. They did that this offseason. They need to go into the offseason with this mostly veteran team that's ready to win now with a plan at quarterback. And I think JJ McCarthy will probably be on the team next season, but I find it hard to believe they wouldn't bring in some veteran that will compete with him for real. A guy like Mac Jones, maybe you can pry him away from San Francisco in a trade. Maybe a guy like Davis Mills. We just saw him have a great game. He's running, Nick Caley is his offensive coordinator who worked with Sean McVay. So it's a similar system. Big, strong, athletic guy, good enough arm, definitely a smart guy who went to Stanford. These are all options that I don't think any Vikings fans are going to be thrilled to hear, but that's what reclamation projects are. They don't seem like amazing ideas until they work. And at this point, you need a veteran who's started games, who has some talent, and that's really it. JJ's in a spot where he's competing for his job over the last 6 games and really, really has to figure it out next offseason. So, if I was talking to JJ McCarthy, I would tell him, keep your head down, keep working, stop talking to the media. It feels like every week he's either talking about his injuries or giving himself alter egos, whatever it may be, but he's got to stop talking. It's kind of giving off like Russell Wilson in Seattle vibes, where everything is just, it has got to be some type of joke or anecdote or some uplifting quote or whatever it may be. And that's fine and well when it works. Russ was winning 10, 11, 12 games a year. They were in the playoffs every year. They won a Super Bowl. JJ's barely been on the field. He's been terrible. He's got to just put his head down and grind. Otherwise, the Vikings are going to be moving on in 2026. And it's a real shame. They they trade up to draft him in the first round. He looks like he's going to be the franchise quarterback. And the hardest part is, like I said, the fact that Darnold and Daniel Jones are off on other teams playing well. So keep your head up, Vikings fans. It's a dark day indeed. This kind of felt like, all right, he's healthy. The team is healthy. You're playing a tough opponent, but it's got to be at least competitive today. And it just wasn't. It just wasn't. I had a lot of people mad at me this week for my take on Shedeur Sanders, that he's going to fail as the Cleveland Browns quarterback, and he's going to be one of the all-time Cleveland Brown busts at quarterback, which is, for them, is really saying something. But hey, credit to Shedeur. The Browns get a win today at Vegas, 24-10. And Shedeur, I actually heard a stat. Shedeur is the first Browns rookie quarterback to win their first game in 17 quarterbacks. So the last 17 rookie quarterbacks that have started a game for the Browns have lost. Shedeur is the first one since 1995 to get a win in his first start. So, hey, credit to Shedeur. It doesn't really change my opinion on the guy. I think the Raiders are way worse than I thought they were. That team is completely bottomed out. Pretty sad to see Pete Carroll, what's going on with him in his career right now. A lot of promise coming into the season, signing Geno Smith to a big contract. And, you get Max Crosby signed and he's ready to go. And it looked like you draft Ashton Genty with the 6th overall pick, but the Raiders fall to 2-9 and just look like one of the worst teams in the NFL. I think Shedeur, he looked okay. He went 11 for 20, 209 yards and a touchdown and a pick. I think he did what he had to do. He had a nice, it was like a 50-yard pass to set up. We saw the wild card twice today. The Wildcat twice today. A turnover in the Vegas red zone. Quinshon Judkins takes the Wildcat snap and scores. Then Shedeur completes a 50-yard pass, and Quinshon Judkins takes another Wildcat snap and scores. So obviously they don't have a ton of confidence in Shedeur in the red area if they're going to run the Wildcat offense with Judkins. But hey, credit to Shedeur. He hit Dylan Sampson on a swing pass, and the Raiders defense parted like the Red Sea, and he goes for 66 yards and Shedeur's first TD. Typical Shedeur. He was acting like he won the Super Bowl after the game and saying that he only had 1 week of practice and it's going to get really scary if he gets a full off season. And, that's just typical Shedeur. It's all about Shedeur. And, again, I had a quote this week that the Browns are a circus and they added another clown to the circus. And I still stand by that. I think Shedeur got a win today, has the Shedeur fans feeling great. But we'll see how it goes next week against the San Francisco 49ers, which is going to be a much different test than the Raiders, who they're probably the worst team in the NFL. Them or the Titans. And Shedeur gets a win. That defense, Myles Garrett had 3 sacks. That defense completely smothered Geno Smith. Got a turnover, like I said, in the Vegas red zone. So good for them. Shedeur 1-0, first Browns quarterback in 17. First rookie Browns quarterback to win a start since 1995. 17 other rookie quarterbacks had lost their first start. So, maybe they found their guy, maybe they didn't. I will bet that they didn't, and we'll see how the rest of his career goes. But hey, 1 point for the Shedeur Sanders fan club. 0 points for me.